And it says we're live.
Yeah. All right. It's 100 damn degrees out there. Donut here to keep the air conditioner running. Because bless Willis Carrier, his brainchild is giving it all it's got.
Yeah.
If you like coffee, and even at 100 degrees, we still like coffee.
Hot coffee.
Hot coffee. Iced coffee is an abomination unto noggin. King Harvest Trail Coffees. If you order from them, be sure you let them know you heard about it from us, so they'll keep sending us coffee. Among the Leaves Tees. For all your Smart Aleck t-shirt needs, tinyurl.com, Among the Leaves Tees. Friend of ours, if you get a t-shirt from him, be sure you let him know you heard about it from us.
Yeah, please. Well, I'm back from Writer's Cantina.
He is.
It was a good little con. However, I learned just how out of shape I really am. 1.8 friggin' miles through DFW and Salt Lake City airports. And I haven't walked any distance in 7 months.
Uh-huh.
That about killed my ass.
Uh-huh.
I did see Greg at DFW, and we rode out to Salt Lake on the same airplane. And by the time I got off the airplane, I told Greg I'd see him later. And I texted him later and said, yeah, I'm going to pass on supper. I'm going to be. But it was good to see folks. For those of you that are fans of Writers Dojo, they are back alive. They did a live one and taped one at Writers Cantina.
Good.
Because Steve finally got through the major project he was working on.
Outstanding.
After having been locked out of both systems for 4 days. And it was due the last day of the, was due on Friday, the first day of the con. But as he said, yeah, through Thursday, I'd only worked 50 hours.
Only.
Yeah.
Slacker.
Yeah. But it was great to see folks. It's interesting because Gordon, Fry, and I did a panel on saddles for horses.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God Nancy was in the audience, because we both forgot that people don't know all the things that we know. And we were using terms, and Nancy would go, excuse me, what that means is. Thank you, Nancy. But it really was a good little con. Well worth it. Very professional group of presenters. Very professional group of writers there. And highly recommended. One other thing, the folks sent me this as kind of a joke, but it's, can you lick it?
The periodical table.
It's the periodic table. And a couple of them are kind of questionable. Lithium? Why? Fluorine? Oh, hell no.
No.
And last but not least, how the hell are you supposed to lick hydrogen?
In order to lick something, it's either got to be in a solid or a liquid state.
Yes. And it would be solid, which would mean it would be somewhere approaching 0 Kelvin.
Kelvins. It would be in double-digit Kelvin.
Minus 430 some odd degrees.
Go ahead and lick that if you want to.
Yeah. You may not get your tongue back.
You won't. That's it for your tongue.
Yeah.
Double-digit Kelvin is not good for tongue tissue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, differs. You can lick anything once. However, some things, you know, I
think we probably need to stop right there.
Yeah. I just want to know who put the damn thing together.
Somebody with a sense of humor.
Yeah, definitely somebody with a sense of humor. Sadly, Cedar's not with us today. She's got something else going.
I think she took Johan back to the airport yesterday and may have gotten a bug or something.
Yeah. So you get stuck with us today.
They were stuck with me on Thursday, so
Yeah. $50 no kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely no kissing. There were also no meltdowns, no left-wing wackos.
goodness,
Um,
it was civilized.
Yeah.
Fancy that.
Utah is a interesting haven, and I use that term loosely, for writers. There seems to be a huge amount of good professional writers in science fiction, fiction in general, pretty much every genre that comes out of Utah. I feel like looking at a street pole in Minnesota in the winter. Yeah, not so much.
I would say fiction has three poles:
Yeah.
Utah, Texas, and Tennessee.
That's probably a fair statement. That's probably a very fair statement.
There's a lot of I won't say literature, fiction coming out of Texas, even setting the rack press aside.
Yeah.
There's a lot of authors that are living down here and are publishing prolifically.
Yeah.
And same thing in Tennessee.
Yep. Of course, you also got some pretty good writers in that area. Brandon Sanderson, Larry, Steve, DJ Butler. These folks are nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Nothing else to do. Yeah.
I beg to differ. Have you seen the number of kids following the ladies around?
Yeah. Brad Torgerson, yeah. Brad was there, and he got on a roll a couple of times.
Brad can do that.
Yeah. But, Lee Allred, of course, Racketeer Press was well represented.
I didn't make it, but that's okay.
Yeah. A few people were asking where you were. Said, yeah, you had other things going on.
Life got me in the
Hey, Nancy. Nancy, thank you again for bailing Gordon and I out when we screwed up and used terms people didn't know.
Bafflegab.
Yeah. But, the thing is, and I have to give all of the presenters credit for this. Nobody was saying my way is, Orson Scott Card, Lee Modisette. Yeah. Lee, I happen to know. He's actually an ex-Navy helicopter. But none of the presenters were saying, this is the way you do it. Everybody was saying, here's a set of options. This is what I do. It may not be right for you, but it's a set of options for you to choose from.
Right.
Yeah, your job was to be Watson to Gordon and I. And we needed all the help we could get. Yeah.
I'm just going to leave that one on the table.
Shut up.
It's bugging the crap out of me here. There we go.
What?
There we
go. And then we have Dawn. Life doesn't happen to me, it happens to everybody else.
I happen to life and everyone else. Yeah.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, Dawn. At least you have a choice in the matter.
It's something I was trying to write. I got off on a whinge on Substack this morning about basically being connected all the time. But one of the things I'm filling up a whinge about is the way writing is changing. The stuff I read as a child, and this got brought home to me fairly firmly here recently. Stuff I read as a child that if it doesn't have the stamp of approval from literature on it, it's not considered good writing anymore.
Yeah.
And I think romance the raptorial romance writing is the reason for it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to research this. But the writing has gotten simpler, less writing. What has happened to writing is somewhat akin to what has happened in the English language in general. There was a comedian some years back that did a reading. His shtick was to do a reading of the Three Little Pigs in Shakespearean English.
Yeah.
Using all of the, and beautiful, stunningly beautiful. And over the years, from Victorian times to now, the language has gotten, I think, used to was 18,000. The average person knew 18,000 English words, and now it's like 8 or 7,000 English words. Same thing's happening to reading. The elegant prose
is going away.
Yeah, I remember Edgar Rice Burroughs. I recommended Edgar Rice Burroughs and Louis L'Amour to somebody that was wanting to write in that style, and who's a fairly known writer. And this person's outlook on the writing of Edgar Rice Burroughs and Louis L'Amour was not. It was bad writing. They don't know the rules. Bad writing. Terrible writing. It's like,
yeah. That's an excellent point, Rick. King James Bible used to be a common first reader. The other thing that I've noticed is that we've seen a general dumbing down at all levels. And I think part of that, and I'll say this is an old part, is getting away from reading, writing, arithmetic to passing standardized tests. So you're no longer teaching to be good at what you're doing. You're teaching to the 50th percentile. You're losing people on both ends of the spectrum.
Well,
and you don't care, because as long as you meet that 50th percentile to pass the test, you're all good.
Well, and that's the thing. When you have a standardized test you have to pass,
it
turns into rote.
Yeah.
It doesn't turn into education. It turns into memorization.
Well, remember what our friend's wife said about that. And she was teaching fourth grade.
Yep.
Literacy levels are falling. When I first started becoming an instructor in the Navy in the 1970s, our instruction, if you will, was at the 11th grade level, reading level. By the time I left in 1982, and we had gone to the programmed instructions, we had to write it at the 9th grade level.
Well, there was a headline a couple of days ago. There is a college student who is suing her high school because she graduated as valedictorian and is illiterate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One more time for the seats in the back. She graduated as valedictorian but cannot read.
Yeah. Well, I can believe it. In the early 1970s in Hawaii, 50% of the graduates of the Hawaiian schools, high schools on Oahu, 50% of the graduates were functionally illiterate because it was peer pressure passing. Oh, we can't hold them back because if we do that, all their peers, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Standardized 4-choice test. 1 right, 1 wrong, 2, what the hell. The other thing is the level of testing. Somebody was floating around, and I saw it when I got back Sunday night. The thing about the 6th grade test from the 1890s. I can remember a number of years ago, there was an 8th grade test from the 1890s that went around. And it was I want to say it was a general geography and civics test. And the number of people that said, geez, I can't even pass this today. And this was 8th grade in the 1890s. I mean, they do not teach today civics. They do not teach
social studies.
Yeah, government. They sure as hell don't teach logic.
No.
And your math, the only math I think is required now to get out of high school is to be able to add, subtract, divide, and multiply, if that.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, trig and algebra are not even considered high school level anymore. That's college level.
Crap.
Much less calculus.
We had trig in high school.
Yeah, we had geometry, trig, and calculus in high school.
We had algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry, and calculus.
Yeah. We had algebra in junior high. Yeah, wow. That's a good point, Greg. Seen a tombstone where Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo are speaking Latin. Yes.
Yeah, at the time in high school, you learned Latin and Greek.
Yeah.
The amazing thing, I was talking to some of my young officers one time and pointing out how many phrases in common use came from either Shakespeare or the Bible.
Yeah.
And blew their minds.
Yeah.
Blew their minds. Phrases and quotations they use on a daily basis. Well, blood thicker than water comes out of the Bible. What?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is the dumbing down has migrated now. No, new math. Don't get me started. The dumbing down has migrated from elementary to high school to college to the professors. Yeah. Joel raises a good point. They're trained to hijack the written curriculum for political ends.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, I tell people all the time that you need to be taught how to think, not what to think. But
they don't teach that anymore.
They haven't taught that for a while.
Yeah.
And after having a sideways relationship with the local liberal arts college, a lot of those professors that are teaching weren't taught how to think either.
Yeah.
They don't know how to think, and they don't know how to teach how to think.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, how many in the chat have read Kipling? I know I have. So, yeah, Tom Lehrs passed away. The Tom Lehrer was 97. In the 70s, he wrote some absolutely hilarious send-ups of various things. And they were musical. He was actually a professor. But they were so damn funny because he wasn't that good a singer. 2 points.
Yeah.
He wasn't that good a singer. But they were absolutely hilarious because they were such a send-up. None of those today would be acceptable because they were critical of pretty much the entire power structure.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it differs. That's sad when the critical thinking class is do what the teacher told you. That's not right.
My AP chem instructor in high school described his brain as a group of skyscrapers, one for each subject, with ropes connecting related topics. So you could swing from one to the other, and they were on fire. Welcome to my world. Brain squirrels.
Yeah. Well, It's not necessarily a bad thing. Of course, that's the other thing you get into is what are called stovepipes, where all that knowledge gets compressed into one specific subject. So you have a very deep stovepipe
It's about that wide.
that's 1 inch wide, 1 mile deep.
Yeah.
Whereas a generalist or someone who has a broad base, it might be 1 inch deep and it's a mile wide. But those two people cannot simply even talk to each other.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
No, it's asking the Socratic method, asking why.
Yeah.
Also known as the toddler method.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
today.
no kidding.
Because I said so.
We
It's
can
not a
watch the
valid
entire
answer.
philosophy staff explode.
Yeah. Yeah, Carlton, that's a good word for him. He was a satirist, which is a word not a lot of people know these days. Bingo. I don't need to know everything. I just need to know where to look for the answer. Yes. And the answer is not always found on the internet. It's knowing who to go talk to. It's that networking associations that I was taught basically as a child. This is the way you get along in the world. You make friends with people, you share knowledge, and that will never send you wrong. Yeah, sometimes it was questionable, but yeah.
My father had the CRC. Every year there was a CRC book, and it was about that thick, and it was burgundy and blue. I think CRC,
Yeah.
but don't quote me on that. It was tables,
Yep.
and tables and tables, and for everything that might be that might even be tangentially associated with engineering was in that book.
Yep.
And Dad got every year it came out, he got new, and it went everywhere. I still have his last one somewhere.
Don, that's not a bad thing because you do know what
It is CRC. Well, I remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chemistry and physics, yes.
This was I think engineering, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, it was engineering and math tables.
Dad, every time a new one came out, he bought it, and that thing went everywhere. Yeah. That and his slipsticks.
Yeah. That's another antique. Nobody knows how to run a slipstick these days. Chemical Rubber Corporation is the CRC. Yeah, they were one of the ones that published the book, if I remember.
Yeah, it was. I think apparently I was correct. I think I seem to remember it was CRC. It was CRC in a circle on the back.
Yeah.
But Dad kept that thing. It was on his desk.
Yeah.
And when a new one came out, he bought the new one. And he built a lot of stuff. He built a lot of stuff with that CRC and a slipstick.
Yeah. I'll put my 30 years life experience over your 30-second Google search. No shit.
Or your 30-second AI.
Yeah.
Woo! Boy.
Yeah. As an aviator, I use circular slide wheels.
Whiz wheels.
Yeah, whiz wheels.
Yep.
And they work just as well as a standard Dietzen or any of the other slipsticks. It took a little bit to adapt to them.
And he had circular for everything. Bayreuth, the company my dad worked for, they were circular wheels with windows, and you
That's how you rotated to your compounds.
Well, it wasn't necessarily compounds. It was like wire gauges and fluid flows. And he had a briefcase full of those, a couple of slipsticks, and the CRC.
Well, I remember the old days Halliburton, because seeing them working in the oil fields. I'd go out and visit my uncle. They had a whiz wheel that was pressure based to figure out how to mix the slurry to put down the well.
Yep. Who did?
Because it was all done manually.
Hello. Pretty good. How are you? What can I do for you?
Well, my name's Brett. This is Rodney. Two of the local reps with Optimum. Not too bad. And we're just coming around talking with local businesses, see what you're currently using for your, connectivity, whether it be internet, phone. Oh, Vexus. Well, it used to be Vexus. It's then merged.
Could y'all come out in about a week or so?
Okay.
Maybe actually, handle that.
Okay, excellent. And who should I ask for?
Jonathan.
Jonna? You guys have a business very much. Oh. Oh, cool.
Just stay up
sir.
there. Stop.
Yep.
Stop.
Okay.
Don't go back there.
Okay. Sorry. How's your day going?
It's going.
All right, cool. Excellent. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Right? Excellent. Appreciate you. Yep.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate
He was going to follow you on back there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Managing unknown contacts. Well, I'm
Sorry, folks.
from a culture where I'll go get this. You stay where you're planted. You don't
Yeah.
follow me back into private areas.
Anyway,
Jim is too.
sorry, folks. That's a side of me you don't normally get to see.
Boy, they weren't expecting it either.
No.
It's two unknowns, and they.
Yeah.
I just no.
All right, moving on.
People just
Salespeople.
salespeople.
Can't shoot them even when we want to.
Both of them down there got shot.
He was starting to spread out, and I decided he wasn't going to move either.
Yeah, the 2-on-1, they need to stop that shit.
Yeah.
Anywho, moving on. So, Optimum, we will not be going to Optimum because their salespeople are dicks.
Yeah.
Where
were we?
I don't know.
That's something you can use in your writing, though, folks. The ramp up of tension.
There was no ramp there. You went straight to.
He did something I didn't like. Yeah. I do have a certain set of, yeah, thank you. Slip sticks and whiz wheels.
When your defensive tax instructor says speak firmly and authoritatively.
But whiz wheels are interesting. I actually have one from Pan Am from the 1930s, which, interestingly enough, does not have Mach numbers on it.
Pan Am.
Yeah. Because in those days, nobody went Mach.
No reason
So
to have
this
it on.
literally, this whole whiz wheel does not have Mach numbers on it. Now, the ones that I carried in the Navy did have.
Well, yes.
Slightly a generation or two older. But the numbers were the same. The whiz wheel, the way it operated was the same.
Yeah.
And you have a wind vector on the back. Now, if we've got any pilots in the audience, EA6Bs were and still are one of the best tools for young pilots when they're training. And a lot of the older pilots carried them even up until their retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Todd, your Cessna A6B is not going to have Mach numbers on it.
I've got my father's E6
Yeah.
B somewhere because Dad was a pilot.
Yeah.
And he had, it's like I read a Buster Hart. I've got multiple protractors.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, a protractor is what you use to get your grid coordinates on a military map.
Yep.
And so I've got multiple protractors. And Rita's like, baby, what are these? Protractors, leave them alone.
No touchy.
No touchy.
Yeah, I've still got 10 points from and nav stuff from when we did real charts.
Hmm.
GNCs. Strangely enough, those of you that were military remember the old Skillcraft pins built by blind people.
Hmm.
Worked very well as a 200-mile plotter on GNC charts. But I was talking to the pilots coming back on Sunday, and they can't even get hard copy charts anymore. Everything is downloaded.
That's odd. That sentence you just said had English words in it, but it didn't. It was not comprehensible.
Yeah,
They can't get hard copy. What the fuck?
everything's electronic. They have 2 iPads in the cockpit. Pilot has one, co-pilot has one. Everything they quote need is on those 2 iPads.
Until it's not.
Until it's not, yeah.
Protractor is nothing more than a triangle.
Yeah.
And you use it to you slide it along, you find a grid square, you slide it on a grid square. If you need a grid coordinate that's any more precise than 4 digit. If you want a 6, 8, 10, 12 digit, you have to have a protractor.
Yeah.
All it is sliding and reading the lines. That's all you gotta do.
And if you were an old school aviator, you also knew how to read spaghetti charts, which were the performance charts in the back of the book. And they were called spaghetti charts because you had to track down, across.
Like
2 pages
tables.
over, start.
Like dive tables for
Yeah.
Decompression. Woo! I don't do decompression dives anymore.
Greg, that's true. They can get updates at the last minute. However, when the battery runs out or it
You
dies,
drop it.
you got nothing. And
I've never busted a laminated map by dropping it.
no, Todd, I don't believe you can even get JEPs anymore. I know the Navy still has them because I asked that question and was told, yeah, we still have paper charts. We still have, beach performance charts.
I've got a map case that's got 2 protractors, grease pencils, pace counter, Ranger beads.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet I could go to a basic training company somewhere and hand that off, and they'll just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Migraines in a brain dump. Oh, yeah, it differs. Oh, that's interesting, Greg. I hadn't thought about sporties in years.
When Chris and I were still diving, I had a laminated Navy dive chart.
Yeah.
for decompression diving, and I have no idea where that thing is, and I'm good.
Oh, there were JNCs, FNCs, GNCs, uh, in various scales. And then you had the high altitude and the low altitude charts, which had airways on them. And then if it was low altitude chart, normally it was called a sectional.
USB inflatable autopilot. I actually had a protractor somewhere. I got it somewhere, and on the back it says LT. Turn it over.
Yeah.
I'd like to say it's a joke, but
Don, one thing you need to make sure of when they print that reference map is it's printed in WGS 84 scale, so that it actually works for geolocation, and that you have a set of protractors and or 10 points and a number of other things that you would need to actually plot from it. Actually, paper charts do work very well on a sub.
they did for how many decades?
They also had a thing on subs and ships that was called a DRT, Dead Reckoning Tracer.
Dead right there.
No, Dead Reckoning Tracer.
Oh, okay.
Stop it. And it was basically a bug. So what you did if you were the navigator was you drew the lines for your lat long, which by the way change depending on where you are, north and south. And then you started your bug in a known position, and that put down what are called pecker tracks. It basically would print, and that was how you determined what maneuvers you did.
Oh, thank you, Rapper.
Yay! Speaking of which, Amazon or check Artifacts books out.
Yes. Yes. Doing rather well. If you're a fan, or if you're a fan of Jody Lynn Nye, she has an anchor story in that one.
Yeah.
Artifact Origins out now. You should
There it
probably
is,
buy it.
Artifact Origins.
You should buy multiple copies of it. Reference News County road intersection of all our shows what agencies send. I miss Donnelly County, one agency. I miss Donnelly County.
Yeah.
1,009 square miles, one agency. Made me feel a lot better.
Don, you said you don't necessarily need to plot things. I would disagree with that. I would say you always plot it and you always cross-check it to make sure that it's an accurate location. Because if somebody moves or something happens, you know, you can go, well, he was here now. How the hell did he get 50 miles away in 30 seconds?
Don't look at me. I'm just, yeah.
You might have seen that once or twice.
Oh, I've seen them multiple times.
Yeah.
I love, and I personally, I'm with Don. I love I love having a big chart of the county on the wall where I can walk up, go here, and then run out the scooter.
Yes, Robert, they did show something like that in Hunt for Red October. And yes, Rick, y'all did have SINS units. SINS are what's called inertial nav, ships inertial nav systems. But SINS, for their SINS, any INU, inertial nav unit, has a thing called precessing, in that it deviates from course. It deviates from position. Now we had two equivalent of SINS on a P3, two navigation INUs. And they were made, believe it or not, by Singer.
I believe it.
So they were very, very accurate. But they would also skew away from actual location.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing is called a Schuler cycle. is that the precession, east and west or north and south, is never equal. So when it precesses, when it goes the other direction, it'll go further. So you get this differential, and they may not go the same way at the same time.
Oh no, that would be
That'd
easy.
be too easy.
That'd be easy.
I can remember one flight, we were middle of the night, middle of the Atlantic, 4 hours out, 4 hours on station. And I was the navigator. We got ready to come off station. And we had been in what was called TAC nav, so I wasn't paying that much attention to where the INUs were. And they were separated by 176 miles.
Okay.
After 8 hours. Now it started at the same ramp spot in Jacksonville.
Mhm.
So then it was like, yeah, oops, now what, coach?
Hope I kill your navigator is up to speed.
I was the navigator.
Screwed.
No, it's called Star Shot. All right, go west, 270. We'll figure it out. And I got us close enough we could get a ADF cut off Jacksonville radio station, which, believe it or not, was used more than once by a number of air crews.
Believe it.
Dawn said she sent you a picture. Atomic clock, not atomic clock. Yeah.
And what's 100 damn degrees out there?
Break out the transit. Actually, we had a bubble sextant in the P3, which
Not
was,
big enough.
oh, geez. Bubble sextant. So, and I always made sure that I had the correct star charts and the correct precession tables because those updated. And yeah, there was some math involved in figuring all that out. The problem was it was a bubble sextant, so it was not the normal sextant like you see in the movies with the nice long arc and the good spyglass, and you had your choice and you could kind of search around. No, it was basically a dot that you were trying to look through. So you had to do all the paperwork ahead of time to figure out where to look. And of course, you're trying to do this while you're bouncing around in the air.
I wonder if they still teach sextant navigation and
Naval Academy is now teaching it again. Yes.
Good.
They're also teaching Morse code again.
oh, good.
Yeah.
Morse code is so handy. I don't understand. I do not understand why.
She sent you another one. Rattlestick in the voice of the ancients. Yeah, sometime that worked too, Tom.
So that's better. Going to the hall's better, Bon.
Yeah. Nebraska needs star charts not to get lost in the cornfield. That may be true in certain cases, but the accuracy, if you had a good flight where it was fairly stable, you could get a fix within about 5 miles, which was acceptable for us. Now, if you were land-based in Nebraska, that would not be acceptable, but you wouldn't have the movement to deal with. Shipboard, you're always dealing with the roll and the pitch of the ship. So again, you're looking at 5 to 10 nautical mile radius.
What the hell is FT8? Morse code can be used. It can be used sonically. It can be used visually, flashing lights. It can be used touch. I don't know how to do Morse by scent, but I'm willing to bet you can do it. That's what makes it so useful is how many different senses you could use to convey Morse code.
Yeah.
Flashing lights, tapping, beeps.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom, that is a good point. North Dakota pretty much flat. Everything pretty much 640 acre grids. So yes, you count the number of grids you go north, every one of them is a mile.
You go to your local convenience store, you buy a can of tuna. You go outside, you drop the ground, you stand, get up on top of the tuna, and you look where you need to go.
Oh, Todd, you're obviously more up on that than we are. The digital ham radio, yes. POW tap code, that was another one. We were actually taught that in Cedar school. Braille is another way to do it.
You can do,
International
you
and
can do
U.S. Morse code are
Morse-
exactly the same, Richard.
You can do Morse code and Braille too.
Yeah. My daughter, as a paramedic, learned Morse as a communication device in case she had a deaf patient.
You can see
Oh, the old cat whisker crystal radios. Yeah.
anything like a razor blade radio.
Yeah.
I used. Do kids not make razor blade radios anymore?
No, they don't make anything. There's no Heathkit today. That's another one. How many folks remember Heathkit?
Oh yeah.
How many folks built shit with Heathkits?
And what do you mean?
You could build
Heathkit?
a friggin' color TV with one of them.
I swear to God, I think my first razor blade radio, I made it out of the Boy Scout manual.
Yeah.
No, it may have been before that.
Yeah.
No, it was before that. I was making, razor blade radios. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now we all made them in Boy Scouts. Heathkit, yeah, 1974. I can believe it. But you could do so many things with them. Yeah, that's a good point, Nancy. Kids don't do anything anymore other than play on the computer unless they're homeschooled.
Moving that paperclip along the edge of the razor blade till you found something
Yeah.
was. I'm sorry, the boys at least don't get to do that anymore.
Yeah, Rick mentioned AM radio is nearly gone. Yes and no. AM radio is still the default emergency broadcast system. Is AM because AM propagates so well. And it doesn't take much to receive it. You can receive it basically on anything. Also, AM can be pretty powerful. I remember as a kid driving out to my uncle's ranch in West Texas and listening to WGN Chicago, KWEL out of Shreveport, and XERB out of Mexico in the middle of the night. And, those were significantly divergent distances.
But you can only hear them at night too.
Yeah.
Some of them only hear at night.
Well, that's also when they went over and went, yeah.
The old school Boy Scout manuals are very close to Sarah documentation. Yeah. The only thing they were missing was how to survive waterboarding. And the high school locker room took care of that.
The high school robotics, yes, they are very interesting. I will just leave it at that. AM is really interesting or useful when you're out in bumfucking Egypt. Yes.
Yep. And like you said, what you get to listen to can be interesting because there's some granola on AM late night AM radio.
Oh, and the preachers.
What ain't fruits and nuts is flakes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Learned more about the Illuminati one night. I was patrolling in Donnelly County in the Panhandle, out on the Cap Rock. Got bored, turned on AM radio. I learned more about the Illuminati. Wow.
KWEL out of Shreveport was country western.
Was it?
And it was old school country western. Late night shortwave's a lot of fun too. Yeah. Reversions are fun. God.
No, but
Todd, I have not heard that name in 30 years. George Norrie. Oh God.
you need a kit for a razor blade radio. You need just stump remover and sugar for rocket candy.
Yeah.
There were, yeah, and God's honest truth, it is hard to find razor blades these days.
Yeah.
That's something I'd never thought I'd have to say. It's hard to find razor blades. Razor blades and pipe cleaner. How much stuff I've done not shaving with razor blades and pipe cleaner.
Yeah, MST3K on Art Bell shows. Yes.
Remember, we were using a motorcycle battery motorcycle alternator
Battery.
to break water down to hydrogen oxygen.
Yeah.
And then we put it into a Ventus plastic sack.
Yeah.
And we hung a alcohol burner under it. So it was a little flat, empty shoe polish tin. So very, very wide, very flat alcohol and a cotton ball. So we could add the extra lift from hot air.
Yeah.
And Mom and Dad just got to the garage when the hydrogen ignited.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom, you can get to what the Illuminati is on one channel, and the next channel over would be the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm. I showed
Dawn, actually, as you well know, tannerite can be formed into something that's perfectly acceptable.
What?
Let me go find a comment.
Yeah. And
There's a lot of stuff to make shape charges out of.
I turned tannerite into a shape charge.
Yeah.
For Ray Carter's celebration.
Yeah.
I used tannerite to launch fountains of glitter.
Yeah. Explain this through radio text how flour is flammable. They did not know that? You got to be kidding me.
Creamer's better.
If you get enough dispersion, yes.
Uh-huh.
Flour and creamer make an even better one.
Dust explosions are a thing.
Oh, Levy. If anybody's ever seen a silo blow up, that's a dust explosion.
TM 31-210, yes.
We had a copy in the facility, quote, of a rather interesting DOD publication that was basically irregular explosives. And the joke was that anybody that checked it out, its name got on the list. Except I'm not sure it was a joke.
There was a field manual, not an FM, not a TM.
Bill, why am I not surprised you would have a copy of it?
That one time I never had memorized, and it was the first place I learned how to make a platter charge.
Yeah.
Because my childhood, apparently, none of the engineers or my mother saw fit to teach me how to make a platter charge. So I got in the Army, got off into doing the stuff, and found out how to make a platter charge. And then I had to go no-go with a platter charge. I had to hit a 55-gallon drum at, I think, 50 yards, but don't quote me on that. Stupidly easy. And then later on, I'm watching Fox. I don't know why. And they're talking about platter charges, and what they're showing is a shape charge, not a platter charge. There's a difference.
Yeah. Well, they don't know. You know, it's 30-second sound bites. You know, that's all media is today is 30-second sound bites. You know, there is no Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
There is no Huntley and Brinkley. Those folks are gone. They're in the dustbin of history.
Fugas, 54 Echo. 54 Echo was the Army MOS back in the 80s. That was basically, I would like that to be on fire. So you call it 54 Echo, guys. And they did the flamethrowers and the jelly gasoline and all the good stuff. 54 Echo was fun. A lot of fun. And they got rid of it because it really wasn't, there wasn't enough to it to be and honest to God MOS. But it was great to train other people how to do it.
Yeah.
So I've done, and if for those who don't know, a fugasse is you take a tube, the fiberglass tube the artillery rounds come in is fine. You put it in a wall or somewhat so that it's angled off that way, and then you put half a C4 demo block in the bottom with some det cord, and then a plywood or plastic or whatever disc. Fill the rest of it full of jelly gasoline with a road flare. So when you fired a demo block, it shoved this flaming blob of jelly gasoline that way, and things went on fire. You also would that's the classic. The one I always had fun with was 55-gallon drums of Downy soap flakes and fuel, and you wrap 4 wraps of det cord around the base.
Downy? You didn't use Tide?
Nope, Downy soap flakes.
Tide worked better.
That's what I had. And you wrap 4 wraps of det cord on the base so that when it blew and crimped, you get this giant blob went straight up, and then it would hit top and spread out, and things caught on fire.
That's fine if you're not close to it.
Yeah, these are last ditch fuck yous. There are a lot of. Speaking of flower, comrade. There are on Malta and Audesh or Gozo Audesh. There are holes carved in rock on the beaches.
Yep.
And what those are basically
Mortars. Yeah.
And people don't realize that, but there are honest to God holes carved in the limestone that you're supposed to put powder down, then roll a big rock and set it off, and you've got built-in mortars.
Yeah.
And fugasses and all sorts of good stuff.
And there was also a second hole drilled.
For the fuse.
And they sometimes use slow match and sometimes use powder. And some of them even were able to be used twice.
Quick match was most of them. If you want quick match, here is your Law Dog fact of the day.
Yeah.
Take some masking tape, about 3 feet of it. Sprinkle smokeless powder along the sticky side. Roll it into a tube with the sticky side covered in smokeless powder on the inside, and the outside being the non-sticky part of the. So you have a tube. This is what we call a quick match. You light one end, the other end goes.
Which is actually slow compared to det cord.
Slow compared to it's quick match, not det cord.
Yeah. And on that note, folks, we'll go to what other books do we have coming out?
What do we have coming out? Okay, Artifact Origins is out. Nick Nethery's book,
Serialized is up.
Serialized is up, and it's really good. I'd also like to point out that Fred Phillips' book, Dreams of Golden Fire, made it number 4 on Boys Adventure on Amazon. And considering it had to beat up J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter to get there.
Yeah.
I'm fairly, well done. What else we got? That's about it.
I'm still writing. Yay. Not making much progress because I've been out of town at a con, but still working on it.
Some folks were giving me cornbread hell.
Yeah.
Because the short story that I finally finished took me 2 years. Apparently, the running joke was there was a bet between me and another author over who would finish last. I won that bet. And I was feeling kind of down about it because I used to be. I was pretty proud of my on time, on target with deadlines. I found out by way of Writer's Cantina that, oh no, there was still at least one other that hadn't turned anything in. I feel a hell of a lot better.
And on that note, folks, remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. We will see you on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yep.
Y'all have fun. Be safe. All right.
Yep. Bye-bye.